Campbell Lacrosse is back at home this Saturday taking on Davidson. It was a tight one-goal game last year, and Sal, when these two teams tussle, it's always a good contest.
Have been a long history between these two teams going back over the very first season against each other. And then last year, that tight game, one-goal game for a first time Campbell has ever beaten Davidson at Davidson.
One thing we saw in the George Mason game was some great offense. Melissa Plasek, 6 goals, and how about Annie Pozolski really setting her up nicely in the last game?
It's been a nice pairing between the two. Annie's been feeding Melissa. A lot of those 6 assists that Annie got was right to Melissa. One of the big things about Campbell is they've really come together in that last game against George Mason. They had been a hard time putting together 2 good solid halves, and yet in George Mason game you saw that come together, and that's going to be a really big building block. If Campbell can do that, put together 2 halves against a very tough team, which is Davidson, coming off a very tight win over Iona.
The Wildcats this year, they've beaten Winthrop in the Big South Conference. They're 3-3 on the year. And for the Camels, Sal, like you mentioned, looking to win 2 straight, but also playing some of their best lacrosse right now.
They are. Both teams are playing very good lacrosse. It's going to be a good matchup between these two teams. Again, Davidson coming off that win. They had a bit of a soft streak there for a while. They were losing some games. Campbell had that same thing. I think both these teams are really trying to set themselves up as they get ready for conference games.
We'll have live coverage at 3 o'clock on the Big South Network. Sal and I on the broadcast. We hope you join us at Barker Lane Stadium.